welcome to ELF, Earth and Sky. This is the unit Air and Sound. So our whole year-long theme is Earth and Sky, and the specific unit starting in January is Air and Sound. Most of our centers this time are on air, but we do have one on sound, so make sure that you do that one when you are deciding which centers to do. As always, we have 5 centers, and so we encourage you to throw out one. We noticed this year that the class sizes were a bit bigger, so we did try to expand where we could and include 8 instead of 6 items in each center if that was possible. As always, we tape the information on the lid of the bins, and there are 6 bins because we have intro and conclusion. So this is the intro and this is the conclusion. It talks about the puppet show. Here it talks about the lung box, which we'll send a separate tape out, or recording, whatever these are called these days. We'll send that out in January once we pick up the lungs from the American Lung Association. So again, introduction, conclusion, and here's some detailed information about the lung box, which of course we'll have to re-record. So as always with the introduction, we start with a puppet show. You can either start with the puppet show or finish with the puppet show. Since I said start with the puppet show, I will do that. We've got our little puppets in here. So we need 7 puppeteers for this. Well, at least 4, but you can do 7. So we've got the scripts all highlighted. The scripts are also available at the Mitchell PTA website under ELF, in case you have older classes that really want to do the reading of or perform the puppet show. And we definitely had some of those in my daughter's class in 4th grade. So here we have all of our puppets. And we have a little cheat sheet on the envelope that's telling you what this puppet show is about. And so this puppet show tells how all living things need air, even fish, plants, insects, and worms. So it has some follow-up questions on here as well, which is really handy. So take a look at that beforehand. If you're going to do the puppet show, maybe class coordinator, take a peek and get yourself up to speed on the puppet show and some questions to ask afterwards. We're going to keep it nice and short today so that you can get on with your holiday spirit, or the end of your holiday spirit if you're watching this in January. The other thing we have is this other envelope full of things, and probably the most interesting thing that will get the kids to pay attention. And we have an airflow system that's kind of hard for the kids to see if they're sitting around, so you might want to put this in a center, but I think it is in a center. We got some questions about pollution that you can ask the kids. Oh, this is supposed to go like that. Okay, and we have some more quick facts. This will go with the pig lungs, so we'll talk about those. And then I thought we had filters in here, but we must have put those in the center. So anyways, there's a lot of supplemental material. I'm guessing with the puppet show and with the other demonstrations we have, you really won't have time to dig into this, but feel free to look at it if you have extra time, and you can incorporate it to any other center if you want. Just make sure it gets back into the intro and conclusion bin. So we do have this demonstration. We have an apple here, which the volunteer needs to bring, and a knife. So volunteer bring an apple and a knife. And we have this fancy instructions and cheat sheet on the back, so you can just stand right up in front of the class and read about it. It says, resources such as air are limited. Our limited air supply around the earth can be compared to the skin of an apple. The air our bodies can use from the atmosphere surrounding the earth is a very thin layer, like the apple skin. So that's why we brought in the apple and the knife, so we can cut it open and show them if that's all the air. The usable air is just the skin. It's just a millimeter of space compared to the whole core. So that's just a little demonstration there. And then we have, so these are real life examples, sorry, on your outline it says real life examples. Then we're going to ask the students to come up and see how much oxygen by weight that they breathe in a day, an adult. So you can ask an adult, the teacher for a calculator before, and there's a formula you can figure out if you want to get mathematical with the kids. It really is very interesting, and it figures out how many millions of breaths that someone takes in a lifetime. That's detailed in your outline, but really we want to get to this. And so this is how much air we breathe in one day, an adult. So, the kids are thinking, oh, that's just a little duffel bag. So when they pick it up, oh my gosh, it's very hard, it's 35 pounds. So that's 35 pounds of oxygen that we exchange with the atmosphere every day. So that is the intro. The conclusion, as always, we have some options, but most of the time people bring snacks and the kids just are running around and you guys are finishing up, packing up, and cleaning up. So we do have this as an option. We'll have some books in the centers, which we didn't get to the library yet because it's too many weeks until ELF starts. This is also a little summary box that tells you what needs to be brought in. So down here, items provided by the volunteers per each center. Apple and a knife, a potato, pollution catchers, frosting, crackers, and pine cones. I'll talk about the pollution catchers more later. And again, we will have a lung box, which will have a diseased lung and a clean lung that are pigs, and you get to inflate them, and it's really cool. So there's some special care around those, and so that will get into detail. You can use that for the introduction or the conclusion. The kids get pretty excited about that, so you might want to save it for the conclusion. If you've got any questions or if we're running low on supplies, please contact us at mitchellelf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.